Welcome to Paradise Bay. As we head to the front gates of this park, I'd like to welcome you all to my very first ever Planet Coaster 2 park, and the third park I ever completed in the Planet Coaster franchise. This park is mainly a tropical style park with a mixture of both aquatic and pirate themes as well, and it's most likely going to be the largest park I will ever make, for now at least. This front plaza here is known as the Aloha Plaza, and it acts as our main street, with two shops with a hot dog squad and a pep shop, as well as information and restrooms, as well as two shops being the gift shop and a coffee center. Over here we have the Touch of Paradise gift shop, the main gift shop of the park. And off to the side is our coffee shop, the Volcanic Bean, sponsored by Latte Love. It's always important to grab yourself a nice cup of joe before you head on out for your adventure here in Paradise Bay, and I thought incorporating a Latte Love sponsorship would be the best way to do that. As we finish walking down our main street of Aloha Plaza, let's check out the first official land that we ever built here in the park. Welcome to the Inferno District. The Inferno District has two rides and a restaurant. The first ride that was ever put into the park is this one. It's called Fire Dancer, a Zamperla Nebula that spins guests around to the tune of a tropical beat, which represents a luau flame dancer, or fire dancer. The way that the arms move definitely does resemble the fire torch spinning, and I thought it was a great addition to the park. To the right is the Big Fire Grill and Bar, where you get your burgers, pizza, and drinks. The restaurant itself has two entrances, and in the middle is the restaurant's logo. When you're inside the restaurant, you'll notice this amazing architecture of the wood and the thatched roof, as well as the quick stands itself with the sodas, the pizza, and the burgers. And in the middle is, of course, a big fire, just so you can be warmed up at night, or you might even want to roast your food. The main attraction of the Inferno District is Pele, our wooden coaster, with a giant volcano right off to the side. Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of fire, and it made perfect sense to name this attraction after her. Besides, fire and wood go great together, don't they? The story of the coaster is that the Hawaiian goddess of fire, Pele, has been angered and demands a sacrifice. AKA, you are the sacrifice. What a wholesome theme, right? This was the first ride I ever made, and so the queue is not necessarily the most centered or put together, so when you're in first person, you cannot jump the queue. Interesting fact that early viewers of the series might recognize that we've used different trains for this roller coaster, because the model of roller coaster that was used, that I wanted to use for this particular ride, the supports were actually bugged where you could not actually see the support structure on the lift hill. So we had to use a different train for the early versions of the series. But we decided to give them a brand new style of train because you can switch out the coaster trains. But enough talking. How about we have a ride on Pele? Being my first coaster ever in Planet Coaster 2, it's really amazing. I didn't want this ride to be too thrilling. This could be a ride that everyone can ride if they reach the height requirement, of course. I'm overall proud of Pele. It's been a while since I built a wooden coaster, but it just turned out so great. And also, with every roller coaster here, I decided to take the opportunity of adding ride photo booths, just to add a little bit more of a memory for you guys here at the park. It's time to escape the fires and the volcanoes of the Inferno District and move on over to the Hawaiian Gardens. The Hawaiian Gardens is more of a smaller land with only one ride and a restaurant, as well as the main entrance to our water park, Splash Beach. But we're going to save that for the end of the video. In the middle of the Hawaiian Gardens is the Luau Loop. This attraction has moved quite a bit during the series, now having a more permanent home here in the Hawaiian Gardens. It is the newer age flat ride, and I thought it was a great addition to the park. The entrance to Luau Loop is over here, and has a shaded structure for our guests. Just to the left of Luau Loop is the bar for the land. It's called the Ocean Blue Hawaiian. I decided to name this bar after a Blue Hawaiian, which is a drink. And in this bar, you have your pip shops, your soda lightfuls, and your slush hours. The perfect combination of drinks for you guys to have here in the park. Although not necessarily a tiki bar, it does have that tiki-ish vibes. We do have a tiki bar here in the park, but that'll be for another time in the video. I am a really big fan of the upbeat atmosphere that this bar has. From the upbeat music, the wide selection of drinks, as well as the little tikis that serve as bases. When you exit the bar and head north to the park, you will notice that we have an entrance to our Land Mutiny Outpost, which is our pirate-themed area. But we're going to save that for last, as it is the last addition to the park. We're actually going to be heading on over east to the other land that was made after the Inferno District, which is Surf City. On the other side of the Hawaiian Gardens is one of the 3 entrances to Surf City, a surf-themed land that has 2 rides, a restaurant, and an ice cream stand. If you come from this side, you'll notice the only restaurant here in the land, the Coastline Cafe, which is best represented as a beach house. And in this beach house, there's a Viva La Vegan and 2 drink stands. It's the perfect appetite before you head on over to the waves. And speaking of waves, how about we head on over and surf the waves on our B&M surf coaster, Shaka, the surf coaster. Being that this was my first Planet Coaster 2 park, I had to incorporate the brand new B&M surf coaster that was added into the game. The layout The layout of this attraction is mainly inspired by Pipeline, the surf coaster over at SeaWorld Orlando. I just wanted to create a very simple layout for this surf coaster, as these surf coasters do have the simplest of layouts, mainly focusing on airtime and turns instead of inversions like traditional stand-up coasters. As you head on over to the station, we have this tropical style of station. and all the coasters do have their own row numbers with them. I think it's time to surf the waves, shall we? How's your experience riding the wave? I'm really proud of this, and this will not be the last time I ever visit the B&M Surf Coaster model. That's for sure. Although the ride is a little bit gimmicky with the surfing and the stand-up, I do think it's a good gimmick nonetheless. Although the land itself is big in size, I will admit there's not a lot going on here. You do have some shops around the land, but there's also a swing ride that is just on overhead, as well as an ice cream bar called Sammy's. As you make your way on over to this edge of Surf City, you'll notice the swing ride called Hammerhead. There are two versions of the swing ride in Planet Coaster 2, and I thought that this swing model was the best representation of Hammerhead. The name Hammerhead mainly came from the inspiration of how the fact the swing itself looks. It does look like a hammerhead shark if you look at a certain position, but I just thought it was a good addition for this land, as it did need one more ride to make this land feel more complete. And gives out some really great views of the park. The last area of the land, of course, is Sammy's Ice Cream, a gelato bros that serve up some delicious sweet treats for all of our guests, inspired by the ice cream shops over at the boardwalks. We're now about to leave the surf and head on into the water with Coral Cove, our aquatic theme land. Coral Cove itself is mainly made up of two areas. You have Coral Cove, the outdoor section, and then the reef, the indoor section. The outdoor section mainly has two rides. You have the Monsoon Chute right on over here to the left, which is named the Deep Dive. It is, of course, the blueprint that is used in Planet Coaster 2, complimentary of Frontier, but it just fits great for the park, although there's not a lot of water rides here in the park, and this is one of two of them, so it just adds another option for our guests to get wet. When you come from the Surf City side of the Coral Cove, when you head on over to the right, you'll notice the entrance of a Morgan Hyper roller coaster called Moray Eel. I thought bringing in this version of the Hyper coaster was the best fit for the park because of the very long trains. It's the tallest and fastest ride in the park and is probably one of my favorites. The coaster does have some nice interactions with the land, as it mainly acts as the border of the land. And my favorite part of this coaster has got to be the that front-facing car with that Moray Eel look. It is absolutely amazing. I do not like the themed trains that we get for this coaster model, being that it has a glass top and glass bottom in the front car. So it was necessary for me to theme the car up. But now that you know everything there is to know about the Moray Eel, let's head on over and take a ride. Hope you guys enjoyed your ride on Moray Eel. I was very happy about this ride. Very, very happy. The fact that it borders around Coral Cove, it just makes this ride absolutely amazing. And now that you have tamed the Moray Eel, how about we head on over to the Reef, our indoor section of Coral Cove. The inspiration of the Reef is mainly inspired by those indoor theme parks and amusement parks you see over in the United Arab Emirates, where the conditions are very hot to the point where you have to have indoor theme parks in order for your guests to be cooled off. Because of the fact that I don't have a really good graphics card, I have to change the night setting myself just so you give you guys a better idea of what the part of this area looks like at night. Alright guys, now you have a better view of the Reef. The Reef itself mainly has 4 different attractions inside of it: roller coaster, dark ride, and 2 flat rides. Since we're here, we might as well check out the dark ride of the park, the Undersea Jamboree, which is the Omni Mover style attraction. I will admit that this ride is really long for what it is. You can't really make Omni Movers that fast. It can only go 1 mile per hour, but nonetheless, I do think I enjoy the ride, even though it is a bit longer. It's mainly a longer version of the undersea section of Journey to the Little Mermaid. How about we hop on in and you guys can see for yourself. It was still fun making this ride, don't get me wrong, but considering this was my first Omni Movers, this has made me think a lot about how I'm going to make Omni Movers in the future. It's still a nice ride going through the underwater sections, though, I will say that. How about we head on over to the center of the reef, where we'll find our two flat rides. The first one here is the Octo Wheel, which is the tiny eye or the smaller Ferris wheel. It's as simple as can be and does get quite a long line. Over to the left of it, you have Shipwreck Gifts. And over to the left of that, you will notice our teacup-inspired ride called the Sub Spinners. Two great supporting flat rides for this area. And how about we head on over to the main course, being Odessey, our Intamin multi-dimension coaster. It is right here that Odessey where you will have the experience to board a new class of submarine vehicles, exploring the depths of the reef and very high speeds, as well as featuring a drop track and reverse section of a ride. Although I will say that in the future I would love to work more on interiors, I think it's fine for what it is. I mainly did what I could do best, and overall, it's really okay. It's really a good thing. This is the first coaster that I've ever built that uses the multiple stations. So we will have an entrance station and then an exit station, which is down below. How about we head up on board Odessey, and I'd like to hear you guys' opinion. Here come the vehicles. You guys are ready for the ride. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your trip on Odessey. Such an amazing family coaster. Especially loved the drop track and the forwards and backwards sections. Overall, just an amazing ride for everyone to enjoy. As we leave the reef, there's one last place that we have to visit. But before we do that, we have to switch to daytime. As we switch to daytime, you'll notice that in the middle of the Coral Cove, we have the main restaurant of the land, which is Anchovies Pizza. I mean, it's a fitting name, right? Anchovies Pizza. And the fact that the building is in the shape of a giant slice of pizza, it just makes everything so much more unique to the land. 2 pizza windows, soda, and juice. The ultimate pizza-themed restaurant for an underwater land. It's also worth knowing that throughout the land there is also some kelp shake stands, inspired by SpongeBob SquarePants. Get yourself some kelp shakes as you explore Coral Cove. Alright, I think it's time to get out of the water and move on to our next land, which is Mutiny Outpost, our pirate-themed land. And boy, do I gotta say, it was very tricky trying to come up with a pirate-themed land, considering we don't have pirate-themed pieces in the game yet. But I think I did what I did. I think what I did, it just turned out so fantastic. I can't complain too much. Over here off to the side, there's a gift shop and a bar area. Over here, you have a Hat's Fantastic that just blends in with these buildings perfectly. And off to the side over here, you have Miss Victoria's Grog Bar. If you head on up the stairs here, you'll notice that we have some drink shops over here. And a nice quiet little place to get yourself some drinks as well as a bite to eat. And as well as enjoy the view of the pirate area. Just love the look of it so much. Now that you guys got a pint of grog, how about we head on over to the main area of Mutiny Outpost. Real quick, over here we do have an Haya Sushi and a fresh juice section. Get yourself some more food if you want. Welcome to the main points of Mutiny Outpost. This area does feature a flat ride which is called the Jagged Compass. Is a ride that spins you around upside down whenever you want. This is the land's lone flat ride, and all the exciting stuff is over here. Here you'll find a restaurant called Captain Cook's, which again houses a Viva La Vegan and a Pip shop. It is the ultimate treasure for your stomach. Way in the back of Mutiny Outpost is this red coaster, which is called the Kraken. The Kraken is a floorless roller coaster which features a variety of inversions and goes out into the water of Paradise Bay. As we are now arriving into the station, the trains are about to board up, so let's hop on a ride. Not too bad for my first floorless coaster. I definitely wanted to try out some things I thought could work for a floorless. And the fact that the front of the coaster is in the water and just circling around the water as well, it just makes an absolutely amazing ride. As we reach the exit, how about we head on over to the log flume? This right here is the log flume and it's called Jolly Roger Falls. If you're ever in the first person perspective when exploring the park, check out these trigger sequences. As a log heads on over here, you can press the button and it shoots out water for the guests. It's absolutely amazing interactive feature if you're ever in the first person perspective. All you have to do is put some display sequencers out as well as some water cannons and you can get your guests soaked. Enough talking about guest interaction. How about we head on over to Jolly Roger Falls? And I think this is something that is best experienced at night, so how about we do that right now? Alright, hello nighttime. How about we head on into Jolly Roger Falls, shall we? Although the ride itself does not feature a story to it, the fact that you're exploring the pirate life while in a log flume is really amazing. There are a few show scenes in here that's worth knowing as well. You enter a pirate's cabin. Looks like it's been lived in. And as you head on over to the ramp, we enter a bedroom with a hidden wall that is opened up and it makes you enter into this cave structure. Alright folks, adventure is calling. Are you ready to take on Jolly Roger Falls? Well, I hope you enjoyed your ride on Jolly Roger Falls. The last ride I made here in Paradise Bay. And it's absolutely fantastic. A well-needed water ride for the park indeed. And as we emerge out of the cave, back on the Jolly Roger Falls Plaza, that is it for the dry park of Paradise Bay. We still need to head on over to the water park. How about we head on over there right now and check out Splash Beach Water Park. As night has now turned into day, how about we head on out of Mutiny Outpost back to the Hawaiian Gardens as we are heading now on over to Splash Beach Water Park. Splash Beach Water Park is home to a collection of water rides, including tube rides, water coasters, funnel rides, and body slides as well. Here is the entrance to Splash Beach Water Park. As you walk in, you're greeted with a nice little waterfall, and you have the option to head on over to the left or head up the waterfall. We're going to head on up the waterfall to show you guys the main piece of the water park. And that is, of course, our big wave pool. A wave pool that has a layout similar to Typhoon Lagoon's wave pool, with the big wall and the wave pool. Off on over to the left is something for the kids to enjoy, including a jellyfish waterfall, as well as 2 little slides that anyone can enjoy. When you're making your way on over to Splash Beach, you have the option to rent some cabanas that are lined up with the lazy river. Speaking of lazy river, unfortunately, I have decided to close down the lazy river because the game does not register the guests going down the lazy river no matter how many jets I put into the park's lazy river. So if anyone has any ideas of how I can fix it, feel free to let me know down in the comments down below. Even though the game is trouble with the lazy river, I still want to come back eventually and fix it up and update it for you guys in the future. Which, by the way, if Frontier ever decides to give us the pirate pack again, I will come back to Paradise Bay and decorate the pirate area with more pirate looking props. Just a heads up, if you ever were to go right when you entered into the main entrance, you do have restrooms as well as the Hang Loose Hut, a quick service area for our guests. Alright, with that out of the way, how about we head on over to the Oasis side of the water park. Welcome to the Oasis side, which features a drop tower, water slide, a straight down body slide, water coaster, and 2 normal water slides, which is inside of the Oasis pool area. The slides are called Oh Yeah and Oh No. When you ride Oh Yeah, it is a 4-foot drop, and when you ride Oh No, it is a 6-foot drop. Both of them are into the pool. How about we go for a little ride, shall we? Here's a good view of the water slides you can't really get in the pool area. It's a really nice little ride down body slides into a drop. How about we head on over and take a dip? Nice little water slides for you guys to enjoy. But if we get out of the pool area, you'll notice that we have this giant ride water slide tower, home to 2 different water slides. A traditional large drop slide as well as a vertical loop slide. The vertical loop is called Willy Willy and the blue is called Kulu'ua. How about we take a ride, shall we? Guest reception to these two slides are very, very positive, which is a really great thing. How about we head on over to probably one of my favorite rides in the water park called Uma Uma Falls. This is a water coaster with a very long layout and a pretty long queue, I will add. And as we make our way on over to the water coaster, how about we take a ride, shall we? Just an FYI, I have no idea how they got backwards on that slide. Maybe it is a bug. It's the first time I'm seeing that. But I still love this ride nonetheless. A fantastic water coaster. We're going to wrap around the border of Splash Beach just to head on over to the right side of the water park. When you head up the ramp at the main entrance and you take a right, you'll head on over to the Fruit Pool. The Fruit Pool is home to our collection of tube slides called Fruity Fiona's Tropical Rush, where you can either ride the banana, the pineapple, or the watermelon. We walk on over to the sign, go underneath the tube slides, head on top, and you can choose either the three options you have with you. How about we go on a ride, shall we? I don't know what it is, but in water parks, you always have that one ride tower that has the 3 tube slides, and they're both different, and they're all different. Not both, all of them are different. So I just thought that this was a nice addition to the water park as well. The Fruit Pool also is home to the Drunken Tiki Bar, where you can get yourself some slushes and some juice to cool off on a hot summer day. And as we head on over into the back of the water park, we have 2 more rides to check out, as well as a quick service area, which this part is called Castaway Cafe. Home to all the favorites, of course. Your Pizza Pins, your Viva La Vegans, and your Gulpies. But let's talk about the final rides of the park. It is the Tsunami and the Ohana River. Tsunami is the funnel, as well as the Ohana River is your traditional family tube slide. How about we climb up the tower and check out the flumes? I think we should save the biggest one for last. Let's move on over to the Ohana River. And there you have it, Paradise Bay. The day 1 park of my Planet Coaster 2 journey. It has been an amazing ride making all of this. The largest Planet Coaster park I have ever made. And now you guys can be able to experience Paradise Bay for yourself. In the description and in the video, I will present to you the share code. Go ahead and take that share code and explore the park as yourself. Feel free to add rides, remove rides, add some things I probably would never do here on Paradise Bay. But this is only the beginning of my Planet Coaster 2 journey. I'm in the blueprint stages right now of making my second park, as well as a YouTube exclusive park. A park that will take a very long time for me to make. So feel free to keep up with my Planet Coaster 2 journey by hitting the like button and subscribing for more Planet Coaster and all things gaming. Also, feel free to check out my Discord server where you guys can submit your Planet Coaster 2 creations as well. Thanks again for joining me on this journey. It has been a blast working on Paradise Bay, but it's now time to wrap it up and give you guys the tools you need to make Paradise Bay great, or just explore for yourself. Hope you all had a great day, and until next time guys, I am